Let's try this again. Bum 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 bum. Happy Holy Thursday, everyone. Happy Good Friday and happy Easter. Here at Sisseton, Wahpeton College with Professor Victor Singing Eagle and English Composition 1. Yay! Today, we got a couple of follow-ups and some more discussion for our wonderful class, English Composition 1. We were talking about mechanics the last time we met, and I forgot to show you this. Maybe I already did. This goofy thing known as grading criteria, what some professors call a grading rubric. No. And we talked about these before: focus, development and support, organization, and mechanics. And the last time we met, we finished up all of them. We did mechanics. 0 to 2, not successful. Competent, 2 to 3. Excellent, 4 to 5. And I might have already spoken about this. So this is a 0 to 2. Going to go fast because we don't have much time. Mechanical errors, distract the reader, repetition, poor word choice. Next one, adequate. Some mechanical errors, not enough to distract the reader. Attempt made, very, not always successful. And stellar. There are few, if any, grammar, spelling, and punctuation errors. Sentence structure and word choice are varied. Lovely. So, what I want to get across to you on this, to sum it up with the grammar, punctuation, and spelling, otherwise known as mechanics, capitalization too, is, what's on our lesson plan? I forgot my reading glasses. If the editor or teacher, the reader, has to labor, to work hard to understand what you are writing, you are failing in mechanics. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, let's switch over to something else, because I promised you guys I was going to deal with logic. Now, for our class, the purposes of our class, we're doing informal logic, not the formal stuff. You want to see formal logic? I'll show you really fast. It's going to give you a headache. Fair warning. Formal logic looks like this gobbledygook, which I can't even understand all these goofy symbols and stars and stuff. Mathematical logic, some people call it. No, we're not going there. This is a communication class, not a math class. We're dealing simply with communication, communicative logic, or informal logic, which I'm going to define as the study of reasoning, how arguments are structured to make sense and draw conclusions based upon evidence and sound principles. Now, in order to understand this even further, we have to explain that, as we all know, Americans are not very good at logic, are we? No, we're not. Here's an example. We're going to start with ad hominem, which is a logical fallacy. When I talk about this stuff, it'll help you understand better what actually logic is, or informal logic is. Because remember, it's about communication and writing and stuff some mortal sins in writing that I don't want you to commit as fellow scholars. Got it? Okay, now let's look. First, we got to understand what is a logical fallacy. This will help us in our quest to understand what's going on. So let's get rid of this, because this is just going to give us headaches, make our heads explode. Leave that up there because it's cute. We want to talk about a logical fallacy for the purposes of our class. I got two definitions, one that I came up with off the top of my head, and the other I asked ChatGPT to give me a better definition. I believe the two definitions are complementary. I like that. Here we go. Definition 1 from me. A logical fallacy is an often plausible argument based upon mistaken or deliberately false illogical reasoning. Let me read that again. A logical fallacy is an often plausible argument based upon mistaken or deliberately false illogical reasoning. Again, we Americans are really good at this. I should say North Americans, because Canadians are bad too. Maybe even Brits. We'll see. Let's keep going. ChatGPT says, I can give you a better definition than that. It said, it said, a logical fallacy is an error in reasoning or argumentation that undermines the validity of a statement, often by using faulty logic or misleading tactics to persuade or deceive. So yeah, the two are complementary. It's pretty much saying somebody's pulling the wool over your eyes, either on purpose or by accident. Now, let's talk about ad hominem, which I believe is Greek, meaning to the man. What is an ad hominem fallacy? For the purposes of writing and for the purposes of debate, even communication, it is attacking the person who makes the argument rather than his or her argument. Here's how it works. Person A argues X. However, I believe person A is ugly or stupid or crooked, therefore X is wrong. No. Let's do an example. Let's say you're chatting with your kid. Your kid's maybe 10 years old, and you're driving around and roll down the window and throw your garbage out the window, and your child says, Dad, or Mom, we have to protect the environment. And you say, you're just a kid. What do you know? That is an ad hominem argument. You are attacking that child by saying, because you are just a little kid, your argument will not make any sense. Now, let's jump over to something more fun, shall we? This is an urban legend. I have no idea if this really happened historically or not, so that's why I'm calling it an urban legend. Again, we're talking about ad hominem argumentation. There we go. This well-known Christmas urban legend has been circulating the internet, and even before the internet, for years and years and years and years. This is about the British Commons, right? Okay. Now, let's imagine that the House of Commons, or whatever the Parliament House is called these days, they're all getting together and they're discussing possible new laws and new changes in British society. Right. So, Sir Thomas Massey is a member of Parliament, and he stands before Parliament and says, Ladies and gentlemen of the Parliament, as we know, the United Kingdom is not a papist country. We're primarily belonging to the Church of England. We are not papists, we are not Roman Catholic, we are Anglicans. As such, I've got a problem with this word mass in Christmas, and I propose that we change the name from Christmas to Christide. And then he sat down. And next, somebody stood up and said, That's ridiculous. How would you like it if we changed your name from Thomas Massey to Toe-Tide Tidy? And everybody in Parliament cracked up. And of course, the proposal went down in flaming defeat, and it's still Christmas in England today. Now, as I told you before, this is attacking the person rather than the argument. The person argued that we should change the name from Christmas to Christide because Mass is a Catholic word. But the man's name was Thomas Massey. All right, so that's all I'm going to bother you with today. I hope you guys have an awesome Holy Weekend, and we'll pick this up next time. We'll do another logical fallacy. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.